One thing I did want to add to Carrie's discussion with you is that this being our second year, last year our first year, and you know we always get better, so you guys are going to be even better than the first year that we had this program together over Camp Woodbridge. And when I came back from the break, I looked at my students' scores, the last score that they had for reading, which was just a couple weeks ago, okay, but a year ago. And then in August, after the first 2 weeks of school, we tested them again, and those kids that were in Camp Woodbridge, we saw 0 decline. Okay, so there was no summer slide. 0 decline in their score. It literally stayed the same, and we had a few students actually move up over the summer, which that's not the norm. Even our best students, if they're not reading over the summer, they come back and they have what we call a summer slide. So you guys are a huge part of keeping that growth going, because we have those kids that are 1-2 years behind. So anything that you can do over the summer to keep those scores moving that direction, they're going to catch up quicker. So thank you. All right, so moving on, let's go to the first slide, please. So what is academic discourse? You guys discuss, and you're going to find out a little bit more here. So just push the button. Okay, so engaging in formal academic discussions in pairs, small groups, and whole group. I highlighted engaging. As Carrie said, this is not just talk. This is meaningful talk, and you have to think about that when you're making your lesson plans. What do I want my kids to talk about? Not just, hey, discuss what you think about this passage. No, you want to have a very clear goal, okay? And you want to write those in your plans, what you want your kids to be engaged in. You're going to expand academic vocabulary through direct instruction, through reading and academic interactions. So, direct instruction. You're teaching kids how to talk to one another. Okay? That's a shift. It's not just discussing, it is teaching exactly how do you do that. It's not just having students talk to each other about a topic. It is developing collaborative tasks that require effective and linguistically rich discussions. So you're developing that task as a part of your lesson plan. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. If you want to take notes, but I'm okay. Are we okay giving copies out?
Carrie just said that she could, if you want to email it to me.
Oh, perfect. Let's do that. That way you can just kind of enjoy the conversation today, and then you'll have all this. Okay, thank you.
Oh my God, gravity's pushing me down.
I'm like, go ahead. Okay, so why is this so important? So the ability to express ideas in verbal form is essential to a community's success. Now, a community, so we have to be thinking now as teachers, this student, even though they're 8 and 9 years old, 10 years old, they eventually are going to be citizens of, they're citizens, but participants of our community. And so we are teaching them how to communicate at that level. So Common Core is very specific on that language and where they're headed. They're headed to college. If they don't go to college, they're headed to a vocational school. Okay? But they eventually will be part of our community, and they will be having those active conversations. So it's higher level speaking and thinking. We're preparing our students to talk in many ways, right? That makes meaning, supported by evidence. So it's not just, well, I think. Okay, I think because, and offering that piece of evidence. A number of audiences. So they need to learn, you're teaching them how to talk to one another on a one-on-one basis, small groups and then large groups, and eventually to be able to come up and speak to a group of people. So that's where they're headed. A number of purposes, and these are just some examples to inform. So they need to know that language is real different than when you want to persuade someone to your side or your way of thinking. Or to entertain, or to agree or disagree. There's many different ways of speaking depending on what your goal is. And so our students need to know that, and they need lots of opportunity to practice. They only get better. So think of it as reading. The more they read, the better they get. The more they write, the better they get. The more they speak, the better they get at it. And there's a direct connection between speaking and writing and reading. Thank you. All right, so the collaborative tasks. So what are some collaborative tasks you might have your students perform at Camp Woodbridge? And so this is a time that I want us, can we get together in our grade levels right now?
Whatever you want to do.
Okay, so I don't want to be up here talking all the time. So we're going to, and then you don't ever want to be up here talking to your students all the time either. So you want to have a little bit of information, and then you want to have some opportunity to work in a group. So we thought we would have us get into groups of our grade levels that you'll be teaching. So how about if we have, raise your hand in kindergarten. I know. All right, more kinders over here. So how about if kinders come over here to this table? All right, how about first grade? Where are you? First grade, oh, over there. So first graders are going to come over there. First, second grade? Second, okay. How about your second? Yeah. How about if second grade goes over there so we have room to our, and what about third grade? Third grade, okay. How about in the back? Third grade? And fourth grade, where are you? All right, fourth grade, can you find a spot? Where, how about in the very back?
I mean, if it's
Spots?
there was
and
one
I'll tell you we're
she
going
was
to do
a thin Indian lady. She dropped out. Or stopped out.
Just us then?
I guess.